Thank you. I'm really excited to share this information because while I really do love like just a basic oil class, then I feel like there's like an outlet, like maybe you have your oils or maybe you have a whole collection or maybe just a few and you're like, well, now what do I do with them? Because I get it, like there's so many uses for even one single bottle of oil. So I hope that we give you some practical ways that you can use what you have and just ideas on other things that you might want to try. But just a tiny bit about me before we get started. So I've been using oils for 9 years, which sounds insane. It's crazy. I didn't use oils at all before I got started with doTERRA. So I was new to oils when I got my first little kit, and I really didn't know what I was doing at all. So I soaked up all the information. So I don't know where you are in your journey, but that might be where you are right now. So the continuing education classes will be really great that you can just continue learning, because I do think I just love to learn anyway. You might not, I don't know, but there's so much to soak up when it comes to essential oils. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and go through some slides. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's telling me that I can't share my screen for some reason. It's something to do with my settings. Do you want to see if you can just share it, Kelsey, before I go try to dig through and figure that out and waste some time?
Yeah, no, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I don't know what's going on with it. I need to check it out.
Okay.
But as we're going through this information, please share like your own little tips that you love. If you love to use an oil in a certain way or whatnot, please share your experiences, and also just any questions that you have at all. We're definitely, want to help. So we're going to go through what would be some good things to do if you've already gotten some of your oil. So next slide. So it's funny because a lot of times the stickers are not included in orders now for whatever reason. And I'll go over to somebody's house and they have no stickers on the top of their oils. And I'm like, where are all your stickers at? I can't extend it if I have a bottle that doesn't have a sticker top. So if it's the first time you're seeing these sticker top little stickers that go on the top of the oil bottle, you might want to just add some to your next order if you don't have those. But they're just super helpful to quickly identify like which oil is what, especially if you've gotten like an oil box or a pouch or whatnot. So just slap those stickers on there, and you can always add some more. They're only like 50 cents. You can add those to your orders at any time, but they're great to put on rollers. Even if you like make a custom blend, you can put the sticker of the sticker top of the oil that you use on there, and so that way you know what oil is in that blend, so that you can easily make it next time. I like to do that as well, but definitely get the stickers out. That's important. Next slide. Okay, so I get a lot of questions as far as when people first get started, like, well, how am I going to know how to use the oils that I have? Do I just go on the website and it's going to tell me? There is some information on the doTERRA website, but I will say they have to say super compliant. Compliant means that they can't really say X oil is good for, like, deep blue is good for muscle aches and pains. Even they have to say super generalized, and headaches and allergies and those words that we wouldn't necessarily think would be bad. Let's say they just have to say super compliant on the website. So you can find information there, but I always like to recommend people get a reference book, because between the reference book and the Facebook page that we have, I do believe that you'd be able to find most any question that you have and get it answered. So out of those books that are on it was the last slide real quick. That's all right. The Essential Life book is probably my favorite. It has a lot of different recipes and just more information to just like what oil is used for what. They definitely have that, but I like that they have more information than just, X ailment you can use for X, you can use X oil for. Are you having technical difficulties? Yeah, that's okay. Sorry about that, guys. But while we're on the topic of reference books, they also have a lot of apps too. Now, if you find that to be more helpful, you can definitely search like essential oil apps, and they have the Essential Life book app. They also have a Modern Essentials app. So there's different ones that you can play around with, but make sure that you are plugged into the Facebook group, because you can just simply go in there and search, like if you know, headache or allergies or even diffuser blends, things like that. So and if you have a question, you can type it in there. And I just love getting other people's responses, you know, just their experiences and whatnot, because it's always going to kind of be a little different. So Facebook group is definitely an awesome place to go. And of course, whoever signs you up will also help. All right, next slide. Okay, so I want to go through a little bit of this information in the next few slides, as far as like, what do you need to know about oil safety? How do you use these safely? Is there anything that shouldn't be mixed together? How exactly do you use the oils? Because I find that there are two groups of people, like some maybe like me, I'm just going to dive right in. You know, I'm just going to try to experiment on myself. I'm like my own guinea pig. My kids, unfortunately, sometimes are my guinea pigs. But other people just want to know exactly how to do things before they're going to try it. So either way, I think you'll find these things helpful. And again, the books are very helpful for that type of information. And then also, how do I reorder? Because at some point, hopefully, you're going to want to try something new or replace some things that you have. Next slide. Okay, so let's talk about diffusing. And diffusing, I would say, is probably the easiest way to use essential oils. I mean, really, it's kind of a no-brainer. And sometimes when you're first getting started, like, you need that. You need a few wins. Like, I could just set the diffuser and turn it on, and I'm going to get the benefits. Like, it's really that easy. So just a few basic things about diffusing. You can find diffusers so many different places now. I remember when I got started, you know, a long time ago, it seems like now, you didn't find diffusers everywhere. Like, I didn't know what a diffuser was, really. So they've just come a long way, which is great. I do often get asked, like, what's the difference between doTERRA diffusers and like other diffusers? Really, the quality. You know, you can find there's so much of a price range when it comes to diffusers. But I just think if you have the budget for a $20 diffuser and off Amazon or from another store, start there. That's fine. You know, just know that it's probably not going to last very long, maybe 3 to 6 months versus like years. And it might not put off a lot of like mist. It's like other more expensive diffusers will. And doTERRA diffusers probably range from like $40 or $50 on up to like $80 or $90, just to give you a range there. So, but it is a good investment in my opinion, because they do last years versus months. But
I love that. Sorry to jump in. I love that with the doTERRA diffusers, we also have a 1-year warranty. So if anything happens along the way, we can just get on live chat and talk to them, and they'll help us through it.
Very true. You don't get that if you buy it from other places. So that's a great point. Thank you. But it really is as simple as taking the diffuser top off and filling the water up. You don't have to use any special water. You can just use tap water. And then, you know, I always get this question, like, how many drops do I put in there? Because if you use other brands, you might be used to putting a lot more oil in there. But doTERRA is potent. There's nothing else added to the oils as far as like fillers. So you really only need, this is 4 to 10 drops. I usually put 4 to 6 drops. I just think that is plenty. For, you know, runtime, just depends on what the setting is, but that's usually plenty of oil to put in a diffuser at one time. And I do like this next tip, because I find it really easy to set the diffuser. If I just have a little carafe of water just sitting beside the diffuser, so that I actually have one right behind me. I don't know if you can see that, probably not because I'm small, but it just makes it really easy. I don't have to go unhook the diffuser and take it to the sink and fill it up. So I think that really helps a lot. And then cleaning, you just want to make sure to clean it. This is 1 to 2 weeks. I probably clean mine once a month. So you just want to clean it with, you can do vinegar, you can do On Guard cleaner, whatever it might be, just kind of get in there and clean it out. It's really not super complicated. You can do it a lot of different ways, but I just take them all from out the house. I have them pretty much in every room and just clean them all at one time, once a month. And then one last thing about diffusing, you know, you really can't put a wrong combination in the diffuser that's going to like have a bad reaction or something. Now, I will say of course, if you were to like diffuse oregano, that unless you wanted the smell of oregano, I mean, that might not smell, you know, very like citrusy or floral or whatever. So that's the only thing really. The smell might not be what you wanted, but it's definitely not going to to be an issue of like putting oils together in a certain combination. Next slide.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Should you clean it out before you change the oil? Like if you're diffusing lavender for a couple days and then you want something else, should you clean it before you put a different oil in there?
That's a good question. I really don't do that, and I don't find that I have a ton of like carryover with the smell. But if you find that you do, maybe you do have like a really potent oil in there, or maybe and you put an oil in there that's like a very viscous. It's kind of like vetiver, for instance, is really thick. You might find that you have some of that carryover smell with the, if you're adding a different thing in the diffuser. So in that case, you could just simply wipe it out with like a paper towel. I think that would work, but I don't typically find that I have that issue. But that's a great question. Okay, so diffuser blends for immunity. So just kind of providing you with some different ideas as we kind of go along in this talk. These are really some of the more common oils that you probably have if you've gotten started with one of the more basic kits, or just a couple of oils. Peppermint is a really common one, lemon, on guard. So just putting these together and popping them in the diffuser. Now, I will say I've never diffused oregano. Some people might like to. I would typically use that one topically or internally, but to each his own. Your house might smell like spaghetti, but you will get a boost in immunity. So yeah, these are just some diffuser blends to think about for immunity. Next slide.
Sorry, there's like a lag every time I hit the arrow.
That's okay.
I don't know why it's like slow. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so this is great, a great blend to add in the diffuser if you have maybe some sniffles going on, because you want to kind of get to the root of whatever's causing that, as far as if it's a bacteria or a virus, with the On Guard, and then you can put in the Breathe to help keep your airways open. And I really like using Breathe at night, because a lot of times, especially kids, they just get really cruddy overnight, and maybe they're coughing or they wake up, more congested. So this is a really great one to add in the diffuser overnight. And you could also replace On Guard with lavender. That's another great duo. Breathe and lavender overnight. And then this is like the all-time best allergy blend, lavender, lemon, and peppermint. And you can obviously put this in the diffuser, or we're going to talk about topical use in a little bit. You can use it topically or internally. You can use it all three ways. This blend is great. And I've had so many people have really great results using this blend with seasonal allergies. And, you could definitely use it every day as well if you just had ongoing allergy issues. All right, sinus cup. I actually love the sinus. I call it a steam mug, but this is a really excellent way to get the oils kind of where they need to work faster, if that makes sense. So whenever you're having just sinus congestion or pressure or whatnot, it's honestly hard to get to that area. It's like it's right here up under your eyes and maybe on your forehead. And obviously you can put oils topically there, but you have to be careful of your eyes, of course. But breathing them in through your nose just helps it to get to those areas super quick. And it's a very targeted approach. So you could obviously diffuse things for sinus issues, but I've just found, my husband swears by this. He uses this every time he just feels something coming on, and he's just can't really break up that sinus pressure. So putting one drop each of these in a little bit of steaming hot water, and then cupping, kind of making a tent with your hands, making sure to close your eyes and just breathing in with your nose to get the oils right where they need to go. It's just an excellent way to combat sinus issues. Next slide. Okay, so another diffuser blends, or oils to diffuse, I should say. These are great oils to maybe keep by your bedside and kind of rotate out, and just keep in rotation for sleep. So Balance, Lavender, Serenity, Breathe, Bergamot, Roman Chamomile. These are all great oils that really do help, just kind of help your body wind down, go to sleep and stay asleep, go to sleep faster and then stay asleep during the night. So again, if you're just using one oil, you could put 3 to 4 drops, or if you're using 2 or more, maybe 6 or 7 drops total would be great. But I do like to change up my sleep oils. Some people use the same oil every night, which is totally fine, but I just like to change it up. So maybe just keeping 2 or 3 of these on your bedside table and just swapping them out as you want to change would be good. Next slide. Okay, so Serenity is really a great built-in diffuser blend. I mean, it's a blend for a reason, right? There's obviously several oils in there, and to me, I do like a blend, especially when you maybe don't have a ton of oils to make your own blends. It's really just built in, and doTERRA knows how to make blends. They know the right ratios and all of that. So I trust them more than, I'm not like a blend master. So I really do rely on their blends a lot. And again, it's cost effective to get this one bottle versus getting the 7 or 8 oils that are in the bottle. So just think about that as you're kind of building up your collection, just to think about maybe choosing blends versus single oils when it makes sense to use as a great way to keep your budget in mind. And also, when you're thinking about possibly helping other people with what oils to choose, I like a blend because everybody's a little bit different. So some people might really like lavender for sleep. Other people might really love vetiver. It just works better for them. So you're kind of going to hit more, a wider range of how the oils, each oil works on different people better with a blend. Next slide. Okay, so next we're going to go into applying oils to the body. So using oils topically. So this is a way that I would say people are very familiar with using oils. Aromatically and topically are probably things you've heard or use oils, for it. Use oils in those ways for a while. Not really anything new there. But I want to cover dilution, like when to dilute, how to dilute, safety tips, and then how to make a roller bottle. So next slide. Okay, so let's talk about dilution. So this is something that really can be complicated to some people. It just depends, right? Are you just going to jump in there, or are you going to want to know all the details, which is fine either way, but everybody's kind of different when it comes to that. So dilution of essential oils. So obviously we know essential oils are potent, right? 1 to 3 drops is really all we need at one given time. So we know they're potent. So we definitely want to make sure and honor that, right? You don't want to be using a ton of oil any of the ways, just in a way that would, especially on a young child or on the elderly, somebody that has sensitive skin. So that is when dilution would come in. So you can use a lot of different carrier oils, really, whatever you find works best for you. doTERRA has fractionated coconut oil. They have had other oils on like limited time specials before. So I think they probably will come out with more carrier oil options, because some people I know are allergic to coconut oil. So you can definitely use other type of oils, but this has worked great for me for so many years. And so this is what I typically use. And it gets absorbed through the skin really quickly. Some of the other carrier oils are a little bit heavier and they kind of sit on the skin and might be greasy. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're thinking about what carrier oil might be best. But whenever you think about diluting, you're not actually diluting the effectiveness of the essential oil. You're actually just dispersing it better over your skin. Because if you just put a drop of essential oil on your skin, some oils are kind of more gentle and it's not that big of a deal. You're not going to get the itchiness and the redness that you might get with an oil that is considered like spicy or hot, or maybe you just have really sensitive skin. It's just too much in one area. So whenever you put an essential oil with a carrier, you're just being able to spread it on a bigger area of your skin. So it actually gets absorbed better, because essential oils are very aromatic and they evaporate really quickly. So, I'm not saying if you put a drop of essential oil on your skin that it's not going to work if you don't put a carrier oil with it. You're going to get benefit from it, but it's actually a better practice to dilute, because you drive it in, as you can see right here. You can drive it into the skin better with a carrier oil. So you're going to get like 100% of the use of the oil if you dilute it, versus maybe like 50%, let's say, if you don't dilute it. So that's just something to keep in mind. And obviously you're using such a small amount. Did somebody say something or have a question? I'm sorry. Just making sure before I go on. But so just like this says, more isn't more, less is more. So using it with a carrier oil just helps you to get it on a larger area and portion of your skin. can you go back to that other slide really quick with the coconut oil? Oh, one more back. Okay, so just to kind of make sure that I hit on all of these. So I would say if you're working with babies or children, like I would dilute everything until you've maybe been using them for a while and you're like, okay, I use lavender on my, 2 or 3 year old and it's fine. I can use that one. So I would just say as a good practice, just dilute all the oils if you're going to use them topically until you get a better grasp on, how your body reacts to them or, your kids, etc. But any oil like On Guard, peppermint can be kind of cooling, and sometimes that can be a little bit tingly, too much for like a child or somebody with sensitive skin. Deep blue oregano, cinnamon clove, those are going to always need to be diluted because they will make your skin itchy and red and kind of just uncomfortable feeling. But if you ever get that feeling, whether you didn't dilute enough or you forgot to dilute or whatever it might be, just put some carrier oil on top of it. Don't put water because water is going to drive it into the skin and it'll make it worse. So just don't put water on it. Put some kind of oil on top of it, like a carrier oil, and it'll go away really quickly. Even if your child like touched something and they didn't mean to and they're like freaking out, just put some carrier oil and I promise it will go away very quickly. So I think, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so
I have a question.
Yes.
What is like, if say you don't want to use coconut oil, like what's another way to dilute it?
So another carrier oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another carrier oil.
What now? What was that last part?
Yeah, another carrier oil.
Okay. So a lot of people use jojoba oil, almond oil, grapeseed even. Some people use, I would say those are probably the most common of other carrier oils, but you can definitely just like search carrier oils and there's a lot that come up. And you can get those off Amazon. There's no problem with that. I was just mentioning like doTERRA has this, it's easy to add to your order. It works really well. So that's why, we were talking about coconut oil here, the fractionated version. But yeah, you can definitely use any of those others and they'll work well.
I was just curious because I've only heard coconut oil. So I'm like, wait, what other ways can you dilute it? Like what other oils? But okay, that makes sense.
And I will say, if you're just brand new and don't have any carrier oil, like you can use olive oil that you like cook with, or you can use the coconut oil that's hard, you have to heat it up, like that you would cook with, but it's just not going to be it's just going to kind of be greasy on your skin, but it will work until you can get something like this that would probably be a little bit better. And you have to think, if you're putting them in a roller bottle, which we're going to talk about next, obviously the hard coconut oil you can't put in there, and then the olive oil or something like that, it's just going to be really, really thick and not work very well with that. So just something to keep in mind as you kind of go on. But if you have nothing else, you can definitely use that and it will work. But how do you dilute? So you can definitely put some coconut oil in your hand, just a pump, and then you can add a few drops of essential oil and put it wherever you want. And that's just a really easy, quick thing you can do. But sometimes you don't want to get it on your hands and you're using, you're constantly applying the same oil topically. It might be a lot easier to make a roller bottle. So I think that's maybe after this next slide, Kelsey. Because we talked about that. Okay, 3 reasons to dilute. Protect sensitive skin. We talked about that, and just stretching your oils. That's another thing just to think about, because you want to get the most use out of your oils. It's not necessarily stretching like you're not going to get the most benefit. Really, you're going to get more benefit out of it if you use it with coconut oil. And it does make them more effective, as I mentioned, because it gives them a carrier, almost like a vehicle to get into your skin deeper, faster, more effectively. So, all right, next slide. Okay, do not put essential oils in your nose, eyes, or ear canal. If you ever get them near your eyes, that's sort of something that can happen from time to time. You can use carrier oil, or you can just use like a tissue with a little bit of carrier oil if you actually got them in your eye, and just kind of put it near it and it'll draw it out. But hopefully you're going to be careful and safe with them and not do that. But if that ever happens, that's a little tip you can try. Oh, next slide. We don't need that. Okay. So, ear infection. This is something that so many moms use very often for kids that have ear pain or ear infections. And this could be like, swimmer's ear, like ear pain that way that could lead to an infection. You can definitely use this, or really any of these oils for that. You don't have to have all of them, but basil, lavender, tea tree, or melaleuca is awesome for ear infections or ear pain. You can put some of these, like I said, if you had all of them, you could do all of them, or just, if you had lavender, you could just use that. You could put it on a cotton ball and put it in the ear. Again, you're not putting oils directly in the ear, just on the cotton ball. But what I typically do is just, I'll put some in my hand and with some carrier oil, and I just rub it all around the ear, like on the ear bone, behind the ear, and then on the rim. And I'll just do that a couple of times a day to help support that, whether it's just starting ear infection or it's just ear pain. And you can make a roller bottle of those as well if you use it often. Next slide. Okay, so some of the oils are what we call photosensitive, and that just means that whenever you apply them to your skin, that you just burn easier. And so obviously during when we're outside, more during the spring and summer, it's just something that you want to be aware of, because some people are just more prone to burn. Like if you go outside and you burn easily, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this. But even somebody that doesn't burn easily, like I don't burn easily, and I have done this by accident, and it really does make a big difference. So I have this question. If say like grapefruit, for instance, if you're drinking grapefruit in your water, which we'll talk about in a little bit, how you can drink citrus oils in your water, that's not going to affect this. It's just if you apply it topically, and of course, like if it's on your wrist or on your arms or legs, like something that's exposed to the skin, that is going to just speed up the time that it would take for your skin to burn. And it's mostly citrus oils that do that. There are just a few other ones, and you can Google photosensitive oils if you want, or we could get a list for you so you can have it. But all right, so I think Kelsey, you're going to share how to make a roller bottle.
Yeah. Okay. So Carrie and I have been doing a couple Instagram lives the past couple weeks. So if you missed those and you want to be able to go back and reference those, they are on my Instagram account, which is essentially Desi. But the last week we talked about how to make a roller ball, and you have your 15 milliliter or even 5 milliliter bottles. And sometimes you're like, I love cheer or whatever your blend is. And you're like, I wish I just had an easy one to throw in my purse or throw in my backpack and just easily apply it. And so what you can do is you can get a little roller bottle. You can get them from doTERRA, you can get them from Amazon, and you can kind of make your own blend. And you can put your favorite recipe. You can get on one of our Facebook groups or get on Pinterest and look up, a blend that's going to meet your needs. And then you can add the oils to the roller blend first, and then pump in some of your fractionated coconut oil, pop the lid on, shake it up. And then let's see, I think I've got, and then you're good to go. And so I wanted to show you guys, we kind of dilute differently based on who I'm making the roller blend for. And so this is a really good chart that just kind of breaks it down by age. So if I'm making a blend for myself, maybe I'm going to put as much as a third or a half of the bottle as actual oils. So maybe I'm doing 10 drops of several different oils, or like this is just a cheer blend. So it's just cheer with fractionated coconut oil, but I might put, a 50-50 ratio in my blend, because I know my skin, I know how I handle the oils. But if I'm doing it for when my baby who is less than a year old, or even my 3-year-old, then I'm going to put just a lot less of the oil, because he's a lot less of a person. He's just very small, and so you can kind of just, I think we made a blend for a baby the other day, and I think I literally just put 1 or 2 drops in a 5 ml roller. So about half the size of this, and then fill the rest up with fractionated coconut oil, because babies just don't need that much to be able to get the same amount of benefits that I would.
Yes. And I do get a lot of questions on how do you use, or can you use oils on babies, and you definitely can. Like, they're very safe. You just need to use them properly. So just make sure that they're heavily diluted, and you can use them. I mean, I used frankincense like right after my son was born, so you can definitely use these, and they're great for babies. And a lot of times, obviously, you can't use a lot of other things on babies. And I just remember that's really why I got started, because I was super frustrated that, you know, my daughter had a cold, and like, I called the nurse and there was like nothing she could recommend. So these are just things that you can feel comfortable with using on your children, even super young. And now that you know how to properly dilute, you can definitely feel comfortable with that.
Yeah. And to give you guys even a little bit more of a practical of just kind of what we do in our home, I'll take one of these little diluted roller blends. I think I have one right here that we use for an like immunity blend, and I will roll this up and down my kids' spines if I want them to have a strong immunity, or if they're sick, maybe I do it multiple times in the day, or I'll even roll this on the bottom of their feet, because both of those areas are really good for absorption in the body, but they're also places that their little hands don't go. So I don't have to worry about them touching the oil and then accidentally touching their eye. So there's even good ways to be able to roll it on their body that they get excited about doing it and helping, but they also aren't going to like touch it, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Can you stay on this one? Wait 1 second. Go back one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, take a picture if you want.
I have been.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Perfect. And then we'll put like we have a breathe roller that I've diluted for the boys, and we'll roll that on their chest if they've got, you know, a little cough or stopped up nose. And then what else we do? They're lavender ones, like their sleep oils. doTERRA has a great calmer blend that it's already diluted for kids. And my middle child wants it right here around his ears every night. And he'll say this, and he's so sweet. So it helps him kind of his cue of it's time to go to bed, and it helps him wind down. Okay. And then we've also just got a couple blends on here for you guys that just kind of give you a good idea of some things that we regularly use for certain ailments. Just again, digging more into the practical. So when you've got like a head tension thing going on, these are all really great oils. Frankincense is great for just inflammation in general. So whatever you've got going on inflammation wise, frankincense is great for that. And then if you've ever used deep blue or peppermint, they give you that like tingling sensation and just kind of help my muscles relax, help any tension that I've got going on. So you can put those on the back of your neck and kind of massage it into your shoulders. I make sure I get it away from my eyes, but I can also put that on my temples, and it feels really great. And then we actually, I talked about these two oils yesterday on our Instagram live when I was talking about taking oils internally. But these are, you could actually do this internally or topically. But these two, this kind of digestin and peppermint are really great for any kind of deli belly, tummy problems you have, or just any upset stomach stuff you've got going on. You can put them in a roller blend and rub them like right on your stomach, and it'll help absorb and help you feel better. But then also, yeah, like I said, you can take these internally, and it'll help calm whatever's going on in there. These are frequent oils we use in our house for that. Okay. Massages for oils. If you are like, how do I go from, well, back up. How do I go from, I have a box of oils, I just got a kit, I've got a diffuser, but you're like, how do I remember to start adding them in? I am really big on something called habit stacking. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before, but something that's just really helpful for me mentally when I'm trying to incorporate a new habit into my life. I will say, okay, what habit do I already have in my life that's just a non-negotiable? So brushing my teeth in the morning. That's non-negotiable. That's for me, that's something that I know I will not start my day without brushing my teeth. And so I can say, okay, maybe I want to start taking frankincense and copaiba internally. And that's a habit I don't currently have, but I want to start having that habit. I'll say, okay, I need to know that every morning when I brush my teeth, I'm going to add this habit to a pre-existing habit. Does that make sense? And so for you guys, maybe it's cleaning the coffee pot or, whatever it is. Maybe you can say like, okay, I know every morning or every night before I go to bed, I'm going to clean the coffee pot. And so I'm going to put some oils right next to that coffee pot. So when I see the coffee pot, I know I can add in like, oh, I need to use this oil for whatever. And then whether it's keeping oils on your bedside table, putting oils in your kitchen, that's really helpful for us to remember to use them. Like I mentioned with our 2-year-old, putting his oils on right before he goes to bed, it just kind of triggers for him. Okay, it's time to go to bed. I've got my calming oils on. And then, yeah, also like massaging oils into the jawline after dental work. I actually do that. I clench when I sleep. And so I find that there's certain oils that are helpful for that. And then, yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about taking oils internally. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. I have a metal water bottle. And so I know that my metal water bottle, it's not plastic, but it's metal. And so I know that I can put some citrus oils in my water bottle. And then as I'm drinking water throughout the day, I'm also taking citrus oils internally. They're good for digestion. They're good for just like kind of giving you a little pep in your step. And they taste good. I really like putting lemon or orange in my water. Some people will put a drop of peppermint. I think somebody texted me and said they tried this the other day. I can't remember who it was, but putting a drop of peppermint on their toothbrush kind of just adds a little bit of like mouthwash feel to your mouth. So there's a couple different ways you can do it that way. And then you also can kind of do like a make your own veggie caps. doTERRA has veggie caps that you can buy, veggie capsules. And I've got a video about this that Carrie and I just made yesterday on my Instagram. But you can pop open the little pre-made veggie cap and you can add whatever oil for whatever benefit you're looking for into the capsule, put the cap back on, and then you can take it just like you would take any other supplement or pill. And then doTERRA also has a lot of ready-made soft gels for the times when you're like, I don't have time to make my own, or maybe you just really like the combination. We use a lot of On Guard in our house, but I love that when I get the On Guard pre-made capsules from doTERRA that they also have, it's not just On Guard, it's On Guard Plus. And so they've added a couple other oils into that pre-made soft gel that maybe I don't have those oils personally. So yeah, there's a couple ways to do that. And then some people like to cook with their oils. Some of the ones that are like oregano or rosemary. And then the easiest way to know when you're looking at a bottle of, should I be using this internally or should I not? You can tell by the labeling of the doTERRA bottles, because if it says supplement facts, then that's your cue of I can take this internally. And it'll say down there, for internal use, dilute, blah, blah, blah. And so if your bottle just says ingredients and it doesn't say supplement facts, then that's your cue for, okay, and maybe it's not that the oil would do something bad if you took it internally, but sometimes it's just, the benefits aren't really there, or sometimes it's like, hey, this one would probably taste bad. And so I love that that they've kind of broken that down for us on the labeling. And this is a good little chart for you guys who like taking screenshots of just how much should I be putting in a veggie capsule, or if I were to just pop a drop underneath my tongue, or even put it on topically, like what's the ideal amount, what's too little, what's too much. So yeah, I know some people are kind of like Carrie and I, like trial by error. And then some people are like, no, I could really use a chart. And so we've kind of got both for you guys. Yeah, so this is again, kind of what I already mentioned, but stainless steel or just glass, like actual glass. What it's going to do is it's going to make sure that the oil doesn't like leach into your plastic cup or your plastic water bottle. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have, I actually did this for a long time and I did not know that I should not be doing this. And yeah, basically, if you have a plastic, Nalgene or plastic water bottle and you put citrus oils in there, the reason citrus oil is so amazing is because it breaks down greasy stuff, or it breaks down, you can clean with it. But what you don't want it to do is you don't want it to break down your plastic and then you drink your water bottle. And so, yeah, I highly recommend getting a stainless steel water bottle, or just making sure that if you take your oils internally through drinking them in water, that you're doing it in glass or stainless steel. This is, so we already talked about this Bye Bye Allergies diffuser blend. But one thing that I just actually got from doTERRA is, doTERRA has a ready-made seasonal blend soft gels. And so all of these same oils that are great in the diffuser for allergies, you can actually take them internally, and there's kind of like a ready-made option if you guys prefer that. This is that's almost the same as the immunity roller blend that we keep on hand, but this has added Melissa or rosemary, and you can again pop 2 drops of each of those into a little veggie cap and take them internally. All the same benefits, you just kind of get it internally as well. And then these are a new love for me. We prefer, whenever Cole would have like a sore throat or something, I would put some oils in a glass, a little spray bottle, and he would just spray the back of his throat, and it would just kind of soothe it. But what I love about these On Guard protecting throat capsules or drops is it's like a cough drop or a throat drop. But it's got On Guard oil in it. And so it tastes so good. It feels so good. And they're so easy to just keep in our bag and grab them whenever we need them. We also, we like to drink like a hot drink with our oils. We do On Guard lemon and orange, and we'll put them in a mug with a little bit of honey. And it's just so good. We do that, I mean, not every night, but like almost. And you can also stick one of these On Guard throat drops in hot water and let it dissolve. And it's kind of the same concept. Okay, and then Carrie's gonna walk us through some of these.
Yeah. So this is the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and it's actually the #1 selling product that doTERRA has, even though they're really more known for essential oils. They really are a wellness company that's focused on whole body, wellness and health. So this is a pack of 3 supplements: Microplex VMZ, Alpha CRS, and E Omega. And it really does provide you with a great just overall support for so many different things for men, for women. Even, if your children can swallow the pills, they can take, a lesser dose of this. So it really is for anyone. And I really like that each bottle has a balanced amount of the vitamin or mineral in it, because so often we have like mega dosing of different things just because we think more is better, but it's really not when it comes to this. So I really do like the balance of things that are included in this. But just really quickly, the Microplex VMZ is like a whole food multivitamin and mineral supplement. So then therefore it's going to be better absorbed by our body. That's called bioavailable. So all of these supplements are made in that way so that we don't just excrete them out. Our body can actually use them like we were taking in the food. And then there's Alpha CRS, which is more like an antioxidant, longevity, like cellular energy type of supplement that's really unique. Obviously we've heard like multivitamin and omega or like fish oil, but this one is really unique. And then E Omega is omega 3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. And this actually does have 9 essential oils. So obviously it's like a small dose. It's not like making your own veggie capsule of these oils. It's a small amount, but yet you're still getting those really great essential oils in, like frankincense is just excellent for overall health. So they put those in there for us to make it really easy. Next slide. Okay, so we're kind of getting to the point of, okay, we've talked about some of these things. Maybe you have some things on your wish list, like how do you order them in the smartest way? So we all want like frequent flyer miles, loyalty. There's so many different names you can insert here, but obviously you're going to get benefit for the back for the things that you purchase. And doTERRA does have a loyalty rewards program, and that is very similar to something like a frequent flyer miles. And so I'm just going to go through a little bit about how you can take advantage of that. Next slide. Okay, so loyalty rewards is kind of like your ticket to earning frequent flyer miles, because the more that you purchase, the more points you're going to earn back to purchase things for free. To get things for free in the future. But in general, whenever you have your wholesale account, you have two different options to purchase. I don't know if this is on a future slide or not, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew. So anything that you purchase is going to be at the wholesale price. So it's 25% off retail. So that's going to be off anything, any type of way that you purchase. Anything that you purchase is going to be that amount. But with things like the loyalty rewards program, you can get deeper discounts on different products and you can get points back. But if you think that's not for you, you could also always just purchase things on a standard order. That's just a one-time order, and you're not going to earn any points on anything, but that might be right for you at that time. So I just wanted to make sure you knew the differences. But the loyalty rewards program, maybe for you, if you have you love a rewards card, you go shopping at your favorite store and you get rewards for it. You love the idea of earning different Sky Mile, you think about Sky Miles benefits, you get a flight completely free. You love the idea of that. And you're going to use enough supplements or everyday products or oils to purchase at least one item a month. That would probably be enough, in my opinion, to warrant being on the loyalty rewards program. And that could be something you want to try that's new. It could be something that you're replacing. There's so many different options other than oils, products to clean your home. I know we didn't go into all that today. That's going to be covered on a future, continuing education class if you want to learn more about more of the products that doTERRA has. But if you feel like you're going to purchase at least one item a month, you would want to do it on the loyalty ordering system. But the way it works is obviously you earn points back on the things that you purchase. And what I like to do is just let them add up a little bit. And then I might purchase an oil that's more expensive that I'm waiting to it's on my wish list and I don't necessarily want to buy it. So I'm going to wait for my points to get up a little bit higher to do it. But you have to make sure you have enough points to pay for the entire item. You can't, if an item's 50 PV, you can't, pay for half of it with points and pay $20, $5 for the other half. So you kind of want to let them build up a little bit. Next slide. Okay, so in order to earn points, now you always earn your shipping back in points, but to earn points on the order, you want to make sure to order 50 PV to earn points, but also to keep your percentages increasing. So you're going to start off by earning 10% back, and you can see the little chart on the bottom kind of explains it. And you're going to, after ordering at least 50 PV for 3 months, you're going to increase to 15% that you're earning back. So, over the year, if you continue to order at least 50 PV a month, you're going to earn 30% back after a year on whatever you purchase. So basically now, after I've been purchasing on this for 9 years, I get about 60 to 70 free points every month to purchase whatever I want for free. So it really does add up for sure. Okay, so you just want to make sure that month to month, you keep at least 1 PV in your LRP order, like your template, we call it, to keep it active. So if you were to purchase, let's say you purchased the toothpaste today, today's the 23rd, it's going to automatically create another order for March 23rd with toothpaste in your cart. So you can purchase toothpaste every month, or you can go in there and change out what you want, which is typically what people do. They don't order the same thing every month. So it's very flexible that way. It's free to join and free to leave as well. So that's another important point. But you just want to keep something in your cart at all times to keep it. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Okay, on or before the 15th to, on or before the 15th, with an order of 125 PV to earn the free product of the month. So each month there's a new free product, and it's just going to automatically be added to your order if you're ordering on this loyalty system and you order that amount before that date. And it just varies. Sometimes they give us an oil that you can't normally order, which is awesome. And sometimes it's just one that you want to stock up on. So I love that we're getting rewarded for that. Let's see. Okay, so you would just want to log in, and if you need help with like your ID or password, just reach out to the person, whoever, and help you get started. Or you can call in doTERRA. You can always call in their customer service if you have issues with any of these things, which sometimes that's easier just to call in and let them help. They're very, kind and friendly and helpful. But just log in to reorder. You can use the app too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but they do have an app that's really user friendly, that makes it really easy. And you'll want to, if you've never purchased on the loyalty ordering system, you just want to create a new LRP order. And so you would add things to your cart, and you can either save it for a certain date, or you can go ahead and process now. So it is going to ask you whenever you set it up to select the date. You are selecting that date because obviously they make you select the date, but you can always just save it for that date, or you can process it now. So like, let's say you go in there today and you want to process your order on the 24th. You want to process it tomorrow, but the 24th isn't available. You can only pick the 27th. So pick the 27th, add whatever you want to your cart, and then just hit process now, tomorrow or whatnot. You can always, it's flexible that way, but sometimes the dates are blocked out for various reasons. So you can always process now option.
And something that I do, I make sure that mine is set before the 15th of the month so that I can make sure I get that free product of the month. And so let's say, I think mine's set on the 3rd right now. But whenever it just automatically goes through, I'm not able to redeem my rewards that way. And so what I'll do is I'll have it set on the 3rd. But if I know that I want to be able to tap into some of my rewards and cash those in, I'll get on the 1st or the 2nd before it rolls through, and I'll click which products I want to be cashed in for rewards, and then I'll just go ahead and process it myself. So it's like you can have it locked in on a date, but then you can, like Carrie said, you can go in and change it however you want.
Yeah, that's a great point. I do think probably the 3rd through like the 6th or 7th is a good date range, because that way, because the new specials come out every month on the 1st. So then you don't want to process on the 1st, because then you're not going to get a chance to change your order if you want to add things to it or whatever it might be. So yeah, I would say at least the 2nd to something like, the 7th or 8th would be a good date range to set it at.
And I don't know exactly how the shipping works, but I do feel like my loyalty reward orders get here faster than my one-time orders. So it does feel like in the queue of shipping, it feels at least like doTERRA prioritizes the loyalty rewards members over the one-time orders. So that's kind of fun.
Yes, definitely. And coming in March, there's going to be free shipping for LRP orders of over 100 PV, and also new member orders. So if you're enrolling someone as a new wholesale customer or whatnot, they're going to get free shipping too, which is cool. That's a new thing that's coming. All right, so add products to your cart. You can click on through these. I think we've kind of probably already talked about a lot of these. You can edit, with whatever you want. These are just some things that we talked about to put on your wish list, perhaps. And what's on that next slide? Okay, we talked about some of these. And just continued learning. I know that we've kind of covered a little bit of the first class. So you've already gotten that in this continuing education lineup, but there's some great other classes that are following. And Kelsey mentioned about them being live. We used to do them live, but we've paused that right now. So we have the recordings all laid out for you on this website. So theessentialshift.co.ce all the classes are there for you. So you can go, like, if you have a couple hours, you can probably watch them all, but you could just go and watch the ones, when time permits on there. And then lastly, just wanted to put a quick plug in for if you wanted to share oils with your friends and family. We have live sessions each month on the third Thursday that just talk more about how to share essential oils and why doTERRA, why it's a great company to partner with. So you can reach back out to the person that invited you to this class for more information on that and a website to go and register. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, thanks guys. This has been really fun. I'm really glad we got to do this with each of you. Thanks for giving us your time. I know it's getting late on the other side of the world. And so before we close things down, I just wanted to hear from you guys. What is maybe like one thing that you learned, one thing that you liked about this, or even just one thing that you're gonna implement walking away from this class?
And you can put it in the chat if you can't unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna make a hot cup of essential oil tea.
Nice.
Love it.
I drink honey and lemon tea like every night anyway, so I'm kind of excited to put a little on guard in there.
Oh, that'll spice it up. It'll be different, a little twist on that.
Yeah.
Lisa, which website were you wanting?
The one on like the second to last slide with all the videos.
Yes, I will put that in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Carrie.
I
I'm
like
gonna
the.
take away. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go, Lisa.
Oh, no. I'm going to be brave and try to like internally take oils. Is that how you say it? But
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I mean, I've had it in water or something, but it kind of is like, oh my gosh, is this okay if I just like drop it on my tongue or something? So I'm gonna be brave and try it.
Nice.
I've taken digestion like often, but I just like the thought of adding peppermint to that. I feel like it'll freshen up that taste because I put them in capsules also. So freshen up the taste a little bit, but also give more relief quicker, I feel like.
Love that. Do we have any club soda drinkers on this call, like LaCroix people? Cole loves putting a drop of peppermint in his just plain club soda. That is like his favorite thing in the world.
That's a good idea.
I really like
They have
mine.
$1 too. LaCroix ain't cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you get to maximize like the health benefits of oil, but it's like, making your own LaCroix. Oh, awesome. Danny said she's waiting on her veggie caps. That's great. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
Yeah, I actually have this book, The Essential Life, 7th edition. So you were showing that slide earlier, but I haven't opened it yet till just now. So I'm going to make the goal to read it.
Okay.
So yeah, I bought it right before we moved and unpacked it and put it pretty on the shelf and then left it on the shelf. So yeah, I'm really excited. And I think I said this in a different Zoom call like a couple weeks ago, but I feel like it's all about repetition and these are things that I've heard, but I'm not natural at teaching. And so it takes a lot for me and a lot of nerve, even just doing a text class that's just copy and paste. It's nerve wracking. And when people ask questions, like last class, I just like DM'd Kelsey. I was like, what's the answer? What would you say? I'm like, because I'm not comfortable yet. And so I know that it's okay to ask questions and to ask for help. So I really appreciate you guys, Carrie and Kelsey, for just spending so much time of your life training others and helping us in this.
Absolutely. You've been doing a great job too. I've loved coming to your classes.
My entire last order last month, I spent like $150 on TerraShield. So I'm putting a lot of faith in this. I've never used it. So I will, if any of you haven't used it, I will let you know because my husband and kids get eaten up and I'm not trying to get dengue fever. So
No.
Here she'll work
Oh.
really well.
it does. Okay. I mean, my
Yeah.
mother-in-law is like really into things. She doesn't do doTERRA, and she's made me like a little sport bottle with citronella and stuff, but I'm feeling very excited for my Terra Shield. I will let you know. I have like high hopes for this. Because baby, I'm not putting DEET on my babies,
No.
but I also don't want them to get malaria.
Yes.
Amen. Okay, Carrie, I have a question for you before we close it down. Okay, so we've got a lot of people who travel the world. And so if you were to be packing a suitcase and you had to pick, let's say 2 doTERRA products, that if you were leaving for a year, what 2 would make it into your suitcase?
No pressure, right? Gosh, if I'm gonna pack only 2 oils, like you got to make them count. I mean, they got to be like for real.
Yeah.
So I would probably say Rose and Melissa. I
Okay.
know those aren't 2 that we talked about tonight, but they are some powerful oils. So I'm like, if I got something going on, like I'm using those 2 oils, so I'm just thinking like, they're just really supportive to like your immune system and like your mental health and your emotional health. So that's probably what I would
We could probably do a whole like series on
yeah.
Carrie helping us pack our suitcases.
Or like, I just know there's so many oils, so I don't want to like, oh, you need to run out and get these. But hey,
Yeah.
if I'm making 2, like that's what I'm taking.
No, that's good. That's helpful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll have the recording for this call. So if you want to reach back out and get that from us, if you want to tap back into it, and we'll let you know when the next class will be.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Hope you all enjoyed it. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.